the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been complied with and satisfied in the annual notice, which gave sufficient notice of the time, place, and conduct of all public meetings of the New Brunswick Parking Authority, has been filed with the city clerk, has been placed on appropriate bulletin board in the lobby of City Hall, New Brunswick, New Jersey, and has been transmitted to the official newspaper for the city of New Brunswick, namely the Home News Tribune, as per annual notice provided in resolution adopted by this governing body on December 29th, 1975. At this point, I will entertain nominations for chairman of the New Brunswick Parking Authority. Are there any nominations?
Offer Kevin as a nomination.
I'll second.
Any additional nominations? At this point, we will take a vote on the chairman. Call the vote? I call the vote, okay. Commissioner Caputo?
Yes.
Commissioner Garlotti?
Yes.
Commissioner Mr. Chairman, you are now, the meeting is turned over to you. Congratulations.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Wow. Any agendas here? Okay, we'll call this meeting of the New Brunswick Parking Authority to order. To dispense with the reading of the public notice. We have 2 sets of minutes from the October regular board meeting and from December.
Mr. Chairman, I believe we now.
Reorganization.
I have the
Yes.
wrong, I have the wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wrong agenda.
Yeah, sorry. My bad.
Nope.
Okay, we would now move on to nomination of first vice chairman, and open that up to the floor for nominations.
Is it possible, could I offer that the current slate be offered, that the current sitting officers be offered as the new slate, as a consent, or do we?
Unfortunately, I think we have to go
Do
position by
we?
position, yes.
Okay. I would nominate Mr. Caputo as first vice chair. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now we'll open up, we have to an order commissioner nomination. I would nominate Andrea for that position.
Second. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Open up nomination for treasurer. Who would nominate? Lou Garlotti? Get a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And finally, nomination for secretary. Nominate Mr. Keith. Wait a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, next item on the agenda is the adoption of the regular board meeting schedule for 2020.
Yeah, basically, if I may, we're going to keep the same schedule, which is the 4th Wednesday of each month at 5 p.m., except the month of November, in which we will not schedule a meeting in 2020. And December, due to Christmas, will be the 3rd Wednesday of the month, the 16th.
November, no meeting, December 3rd.
December 16th.
Okay.
December 16th, Mitch, I'm sorry?
Yes.
16th, thank you.
It will be posted, published, etc.
Okay, can I get a motion to adopt the board meeting schedule for 2020?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Item E, Mitch?
Appointment of official newspapers, looking to select the Star Ledger and the Home News Tribune to be the official newspapers for public notices of the parking authority.
Okay. There's no other discussion on that. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion.
And a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
The next one is, this was for an RFQ process for the accounting and auditing firm, and we received one response from Witham Smith and Brown, and asking the board to approve Witham Smith and Brown as the accounting and auditing firm for 2020.
Great. A motion to accept that?
Make a motion.
And a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is for bond trustee appointment. This is a non-fair and open contract, and this is requesting approval for Amboy National Bank to remain as our trustee.
Okay. Can I get a motion on that?
I'll make a motion.
And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Next one is the 2020 cash management plan. Right, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe everything stays the same as far as all the banks goes, right? No changes, no additions. So this is just to approve the current accounts that we have, mainly with, actually with Amboy National Bank.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Next one is resolution appointing parking enforcement officers, which consist of Paul Francois, Tina Hillsman Norman, Antoine Johnson, Adrian Rivera, John Lucas, and Dan Smith.
Okay. Get a motion for that, please?
Make a motion.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next resolution is the designation of public agency compliance officer, and asking the board to designate Stephanie Hart as the public agency compliance officer.
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next one, this is public records custodian to handle Oprah requests, and also Stephanie Hart. I'm asking the board to approve as the open public records person, custodian, sorry.
Okay.
I'll make the motion.
Motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is bond counsel. This is in response to an RFQ. We received one response for bond counsel, and that was from Lentz, Goldman, and Spitzer. I'm asking the board to approve Lentz, Goldman, and Spitzer, the bond counsel in 2020.
And a motion, please, for that?
Make a motion.
Second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is general legal counsel. Fair and open RFQ process. We received 3 responses. Renone, Kaufman, Michello, Dwayne Morris, and Post Pollock. I'm recommending we use Renone, Kaufman, and Michello as general legal counsel in 2020.
Okay. There's no other discussion. Can I get a motion on that?
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is special counsel. We received, this was a hot item. We received 6 responses. Lentz, Goldman, and Spitzer, Renone, Kaufman, Michello, Leonard Beer, Colin and Ward, Post Pollock, and Hoagland, Longo, Moran, Dunst, and Dukas. Recommending that we select Lentz, Goldman, and Spitzer, Renone, Kaufman, Michello, Leonard T. Bear, and Hoagland, Longo as special counsels.
Okay. Can I get a motion for that?
Make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Labor attorney, also through the RFQ process, received 3 responses: Abruzzi, McDermott, Mastro, and Murphy, Grace Marmero and Associates, Renone, Kaufman, and Cello, requesting that the parking authority allowed to use Abruzzi, McDermott, Mastro, and Murphy, and Renone, Kaufman, and Cello as labor attorneys.
Okay. Motion, please?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is parking consultant, pursuant to a fair and open RFQ process. Responses from Tim Haas and Associates, Level G Associates, Beer Associates, Loom US LLC, and O&S Associates. Asking the board to approve Tim Haas, Level G, Beer Associates as parking consultants.
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is parking structure design and engineering firm through the fair and open RFQ process. 2 responses, one from Timothy Haas and Associates, the other is from Thornton Tomasetti, requesting the board to approve Tim Haas and Associates as structure design and engineering firm.
I'll make a motion. Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Real estate appraisal firm, through the fair and open RFQ process, we received one response from Sterling DeSanto and Associates, asking the board to approve Sterling DeSanto and Associates as real estate appraisal.
Motion made. Second.
And lastly, we have financial services through a non-fair and open contract process, requesting the board to approve Bright Consultants as to offer financial services to NDPA.
Make a motion.
And a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, have a motion to adjourn the reorganization meeting. And a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Okay, now we'll call the regular meeting for the Brunswick Parking Authority to order. Again, we have minutes from October and December. So, Mitch, can you fill us in on, do we have enough?
I don't
Folks,
think
I will let you
Yeah.
know.
I can in
Yes.
December,
There's
but
not-
not October.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going
So we can do October.
Do October.
Okay. Get a motion to accept the October.
I'll make a motion.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. And then minutes from the December regular board meeting. Can I get a motion to accept those? And a second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Karen.
All right, just a couple of items. Union contract negotiations continue. I believe we're close to finalizing them. Hopefully by next month we'll have an approval. We now have a waiting list for monthly parkers at all our facilities, except the New Brunswick, the PAC facility, which is brand new. And now we started a waiting list. We haven't had that in about 6 years or so. So
Okay.
demand is growing. And just another note that within the next couple of months, we're looking to issue refunding bonds against the 2010 issue of revenue bonds. Based on the current interest rates, we're looking at potential savings of $3 million in debt service, which is a net present value of savings of close to 12%. And just to let the board know that the 2010 bond has an interest rate of approximately 5%. Currently, interest rates are running between 1.5% and 2%. So we have a good potential to save some money.
Does that lock at the time of the sale?
Yes. Yes. So that's where we're at. All right. That's all I got.
Okay, Bright, any financial report?
The preliminary December statements were sent to the board members. We are gearing towards the year end. We should have the audit middle of February. And the budget, adapted budget was approved and was received this week from the state.
Okay, great. Any legal report tonight?
No report, Mr.
No?
Chairman, thank you.
Any public comment tonight?
Yes, please. Okay, members of the board, Charles Cradaville, I'm from New Brunswick today. So there's a project in the works that involves Devco, Robert Wood Johnson, and Rutgers on the site of the former St. Peter's School. Through the chair, could you ask the executive director if there's been any discussion about the parking authority being involved with that?
You know what, I'm going to recuse myself from any discussion of that matter.
Sure. So, executive director, could we?
Well, obviously, with a project that size, there would be demand for parking, so we probably would be involved.
So have you had discussions with Devco about it, or
Yes,
about
preliminary parking situation. Yes.
building an attached structure?
Not necessarily attached, building structure somewhere,
Okay, maybe underground.
possibly.
Okay.
Very preliminary discussions.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. There's also another Robert Wood Johnson project that's being done through a firm AST Development, and if I'm not mistaken, they were the ones who built the Plum Street deck.
Yes.
Right. So they've put forth to the Housing Authority, and they're got a redevelopment agreement on their agenda in just a couple hours for, I believe, a 15 or 16-story building there that would be medical offices. the parking authority had any discussions with them? Is there a understanding that the existing Plum Street garage is going to be enough to accommodate that? I remember the original plan was for a much smaller building that would be residential. This is totally different. Is there anything in the works?
The parking demand was brought to my attention. I understand that there's a plan to possibly move some Robert Johnson completely out, and then we'll be able to fit the demand in Plum Street and Patterson Street.
Okay, so existing monthly parkers might get moved to...
So like a satellite lot, so.
Okay. And I guess in that same area, there's also the Mayfair lot. Can you tell me what's going on with that? Is that a parking authority property?
Yes, we own that.
Okay,
Nothing's going on.
just going to remain surface parking, okay. Couple of questions about some items on the agenda and also some things I heard. So the budget's been approved for, that's next year's budget?
The 2020 budget has been adopted by the state, so it's in force. I think we posted it today on our website.
Okay, great. And total debt for the authority still
Same,
385?
That won't change till
till September.
September.
Okay. I see on your resolutions that you've got coming up in this meeting, number 3 is to auction off the refrigeration and retail supermarket equipment, presumably from the old fresh grocer. Can you, I guess, tell me, how much you think that's worth, or what you're expecting to?
I can't tell you. I don't know. Because I haven't approved the auction yet, so until that occurs, because I have to sign a contract with these people, agreement, and I can't do that until the board approves it, and then I can start getting more information.
So you're going to done the same way you do the vehicles through US?
No, this is through, we're going to use an actual auction unit to do this.
Okay, so there'll actually be an auction?
There'll be an auction, and my understanding is that you'll be able to put a bid in online. But unlike the surplus vehicles, which goes to, what's the
US
website?
Gov Bid.
US Gov Bid, this would not be part of that.
I do see item 4, execution of access agreement with RWJ Property Holding Company. Can you tell me what that is?
That is evidently, I believe there's where Swift Cleaners was located. This was the
Destination Dogs.
So they believe I guess the chemicals, if you will, from the dry cleaners might be in the soil, so they want to be able to get into the wellness center, both the garage and the wellness center, to test.
Test the soil?
Test the soil.
Okay,
So
so this is just to give permission?
Yes, test the soil.
Okay. And then just a few questions about some items on your reorg meeting agenda. I noticed the bond trustee is going to continue to be Amboy National Bank. Was there any process to select them? Why did they get to be the bond trustee? I'd imagine that must be millions of dollars they get to hold.
Yeah, they've been our bond trustees since the beginning of time, since I've been here. We used a non-fair process for them, because they are a trustee. I don't think it's required to go out for an RFQ, because they do currently hold out ones.
That's correct.
Right.
Okay. I presume you're happy with the services
Yeah,
they've
we're happy.
provided so
Life
far?
change is a good thing, right?
Okay. Also, I do see that you've chosen to hire 4 special counsels, special legal counsels, in addition to the regular legal counsel. Can you explain why we need so many lawyers on the team?
Well, two reasons. Number one, they're all expertise in different areas, number one. Number two, in case of conflict, we have coverage when we need, attorney consulting.
Okay, so if the Rayno and Coughlin Cello firm is conflicted, maybe
I might go to Willens.
Willens or Mr. Beer.
Or Mr. Beer.
Right, okay, so he wasn't special legal counsel last year, but
No.
he's back on the team now. I thought he was retired, is what he told me.
Oh, he's semi-retired.
Semi-retired, okay. And then I also see his other firm is one of the 3 parking consultants being hired, and I do ask every year why we need 3. Did all 3 get work last year on the PAC deck? I guess that was the only project that you needed?
I believe well, not necessarily. We don't just use them in parking garages. You know, we use them, you know, when we're planning our parking strategy, if you will. You know, we're going meters and you know, other types of parking issues that come up. So I would say, yes, we did use all 3 last year.
I'll just close with a comment that, you know, that project that I first spoke about would, of course, displace an elementary school, and I think that's something that would be bad for public education, bad for the community in this neighborhood right here. So I would hope that an alternative site can be found for that, and I would also hope that the parking authority might use its leverage that it does have to get something to happen in the giant hole in the ground where the Ferrin used to be. I don't understand why DevCo and the powers that be want to target a functioning elementary school and knock it down to build stuff when there's a huge publicly owned site like the Ferrin site. And I think that, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you guys own the site, and DevCo doesn't have to be the developer if they're not going to move swiftly with a plan to replace that eyesore or do something meaningful that would benefit the community there. I would urge this board to reconsider giving DevCo you know, carte blanche to you know, build what they want when they want on that site. It's been sitting there vacant for several years now, and you know, instead of prioritizing this project that's going to displace 750 public school students, maybe DevCo could first you know, make good on their many evolving promises for what should go in the Ferrin Mall site. So I just hope that I'm getting through to some of you, and you might use your power to persuade DevCo to do something at the hole in the ground instead of knocking down the school. Thank you.
Okay, any other board discussion? There's none. Next, we'll move to resolutions. Right. Can I get a motion to adopt the payment resolution for January 2020?
Make a motion?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution, we're gonna, I think we're gonna table 2.
Table 2, please.
And then go to 3. Resolution authorizing auction services agreement for sale of refrigeration and retail supermarket.
I'm sorry, I got off pages here. All right, this is authorizing A.J. Wilner Auctions LLC to conduct an auction to sell off for refrigeration and retail supermarket equipment that's no longer needed for public use. So for approval, to use their services. The agreement was reviewed by Counsel. Feel comfortable with it.
Okay. Can I get a motion? And a second? All in favor? Okay. I'm going to recuse myself from number 4.
Okay.
David, you want to read that?
Absolutely. Number 4 is a resolution authorizing execution of an access agreement with RWJ Property Holding Company.
Yes, this is, as I explained to Mr. Credible, this is regarding to do a conduct a study for groundwater at the Wellness Center, which entails 100 Kirkpatrick Street and 95 Patterson Street, which is the garage. So this is allowing Robert Wood Johnson Holding Corporation access to the site.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Resolution is adopted.
And finally, a resolution authorizing auction of surplus vehicles.
Yes, this, we have 2 vehicles, a 2012 Ford Explorer and a 2013 Ford Explorer. Looking to use US Gov bid to auction off these surplus vehicles.
Okay. Get a motion to
I'll
approve
make a
that?
motion.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any old business or new business, Mitch?
No, Chairman.
Any closed session?
I do have a closed session. I have personnel that I'd like to discuss.
Okay.
All right.
Can I get a motion to go into closed session?
I'll make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor? There's one remaining item, asking for a motion to approve the 2020 wage adjustment program as presented,
I'll make a motion.
and a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Awesome.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.